Let's get a tee on both sides. And I want y'all, I'm going to give you kind of free reign on how you want to warm up tonight. All right, this is your warm up, so use the tee as your warm up. Whether you want to do high tee, outside, middle out, whatever it is, use this as a warm up, guys. All right, so last couple weeks of the program here for All Barrels. We got the season coming up. We're going to be talking about some mental stuff for the guys, and we're going to get a lot of reps today. So we're going to go through a progression of tee, short BP, regular BP. Then we're going to break out the machine and really challenge these guys. But kind of in the middle, we're going to talk some mental cues, like how they should be approaching certain pitchers, certain pitch types, certain counts, and at-bats during the game. You know, 1, 2, 3, fourth at-bat and stuff like that, and how they should be tailoring their approach for those at-bats. 5 or 6 cuts, then move on to the next person. Give me 2 rounds. So, you've done 2? Kalen, I'll let you hop in here. After G, hop in here. Because he's the last one on this side. Hop out here real quick. Let's just talk. I want to talk some like mental approach stuff, and a lot of the mental stuff that I like to talk about is like counts in, you know, different games, different ABs, whether it's first, second, third, different types of pitchers and stuff like that. But before we get to any of that, we'll talk about that later. But first things first, I want to talk about kind of a mental side of the game that guys don't think about, you know, and it's easy to forget. Like I always say, the easiest things, you know, like watching the ball and finding timing are the easiest to forget, easiest to get lost when you're thinking about other things, you know. So off of short BP here, I want to take regular cuts. I want you guys to get regular cuts here, but I want y'all to not try and do too much, especially when you're first getting going, you know, whether it's in here, in a game, at practice. I want y'all to try and not do too much, because that's when the swing is usually the most fluid, the smoothest, and your muscles aren't tensing up and kind of getting you into an off swing. You know, like I want y'all to have quick muscles, and loose muscles are quick muscles, okay? And this is also going to help you kind of build your approach in game too. Building that same approach in here will set the stage for in game, not trying to do too much. Like you get up to the plate and you got to score a run. We don't need to hit a home run. We just got to score this guy from third. Or we got to get this guy over from second to third, whatever it is. You know, doing the job, helping yourself out by not doing too much to give yourself a good chance of success. Okay, and that's what it's all about for hitting. Like the odds are stacked against you already as a hitter, right? Give yourself as much of an advantage, or I say advantage, give yourself as much of a chance for success as possible. Okay? Let's get after it. A little short BP on both sides. Let's get 2 rounds. Attaboy. All right, so about to hit off the machine here. Dave's going to be mixing in his cage. So I want you to build an approach here, just like we were talking about before. My cage, you're going to know what's coming. We're going to start off with fastball and probably end it with curveballs, okay? Dave's cage, he's going to be mixing. So fastball, curveball, whatever the mix is, start to think about this. How many times do you think he's going to throw a fastball in a row? You get 3 or 4 fastballs in a row, you think he's going to throw a 5th? Probably going to mix one in. You know what I'm saying? Start to think about these things. That way when you get into games, pitchers are going to be doing the same thing. You can kind of start to figure out their sequence on what they like to do based on other hitters too. So if Piero's in here, you know, Ian, you guys can watch me like, oh, Dave threw him 2 fastballs to start off with, and then 2 curveballs, then went back 2 fastballs. Or whatever the sequence is, it's like, all right, fastball, curveball, 2 fastballs for every curveball, whatever it is. Try and figure it out, because that's an easy way to get into the pitcher's head, give yourself the advantage. If you know what's coming, it makes it a lot easier to hit, right? You know one type of pitch is coming. You don't know for sure, but if you have a good idea of what's coming, like I said, guys, it makes it a lot easier to get the bat on the ball in the right way, okay? So, again, I want you guys to try and not do too much here. Really try and put yourself in the pitcher's head and see if you can figure out what he's going to throw. I still want you kind of being on time for the fastball and then adjusting to the curve. But if you're sitting dead red curve, sit on it. And if you see a fastball, take it. All right? Simple as that. Let's get after it. What do you think? Should we crank it up today? 90 miles an hour? All right. I think that's good. One more. I want y'all to really start thinking about your personal approach, how you're going to approach each at bat, how you're going to approach in game, how you're going to approach in here, because it starts in here, right? We always talk about how we want stuff that goes on in here to translate out into games. So let's build the approach in here, okay? Even after next week is the last week of the program, we got to continue to work and get better, okay? Even during the season. Now, once the season comes, we kind of shift gears and change, you know, the programs a little bit, but season hasn't started yet, all right? We still have time to build and get better before the season starts, okay? Keep working, get the reps in, because reps matter. Getting the right reps matter even more. So while you're getting reps, build your mental approach, okay? Whether you're you know, the whole round you want to go, all right, I'm going 0-2 here. Put the barrel on the ball, don't try and do too much. All right, this whole round is a 2-0 round. Put yourself in different situations, guys. All the pros, they do this before games, even without being in the cage. Mentally, they go through, you know, 50, 60, 100 of these at-bats in a night before a game, and that's why they're so successful. That's why they're so, you know, ironclad, like they are locked in mentally because they've already been in all these situations. Yeah, probably in game they've been in these situations, but they're working at home. They're working in the cages. They're working all the time at their craft, and that's what it takes to be a good hitter. Okay, boys? That's it. That's it. Hold on, Mike. Dave, what you got?
Too many of you guys change your swings for what you're trying to do in the cage. I really saw Dylan doing it on the curveballs. It's like, okay, I'm going to hit curveballs now, so I'm going to change the way I go at this to try to cheat the drill. That will not translate in game. Don't be afraid of messing up in here. Mess up in here. Try to do it as real as you can in here so that it translates to the game, okay? So like one of the things that I see you guys change is your tempo and your forward move when the speed, the mix, the pitch starts to change. So I say I'm mixing, and you guys are like, oh, crap, I don't know if I should move forward now because I got to see what's happening first. No. You're ready for the fastball. You adjust on the fly for everything else. The best hitters in game hit their fastballs, and then they do really good with the adjustments. That's it. You can't be like, oh, I know the pitcher's going to throw a curveball here, so I'm just going to hit the curveball. No. Hit the damn fastball all the time. Be on time for the fastball. If you hit the fastball mistakes, Rose, you won't have to worry about the ones that they paint inside. Does that make sense? And then I talked to some of you guys, Piero. I talked to you about like what to do with the torso. That's a mechanical thing that always is going to be the case for you. It shouldn't mess with your mental state. It shouldn't mess with your tempo in game. You have to separate the mechanics from the in-game adjustments. Does that make sense? We're going to find out. A few weeks away, and then you guys are playing games. We'll find out soon enough. All right? The barrel's on 3. Good work.
8 o'clock group. Let's get it rolling here. Barrel's on 3, barrel's on 3. 1, 2, 3, barrels.